my God.
Yeah, I thought that was taking way too long to get started.
Man, I don't know what happened, but oh my God.
And it's launching. And
yep.
I think we're on.
Yep, we're on. Oh my God, man. We are boomering this crap up.
So how you doing today, Rob?
Oh, jeez. I had to do this has been a hell of a week, man. Anyway, let me do the intro real quick here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Try to be at least somewhat professional. Okay, welcome to Nerd Culture Collage, the show where we try to talk about some of the interesting things going on in the nerd world today, but usually just go off on some random tangent because it's how we roll, and that's what we're about to do right now. So, oh my God, man. So there's all this drama and stuff going on. And I hate using that word. And I hate the fact that it comes off of out of my mouth so easily.
Oh, and just a second, because you're Rob and I'm Tom. So now we can start.
Okay. Yeah. But I've been adjusting things, trying to get everything working for multi-streaming to different platforms. And I don't think it's gonna I still have to figure out how to get Hangouts to work like that, because I don't think it's actually streaming to the other stuff right now.
Well, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, but the way
you're sending out to others.
Yeah, I've got I created a DLive account and I've got a Twitch account, and I've got a thing that's got I'm using a chat program that like takes all the chats and put them into one.
And Steve J Review says, "Hey guys, hey Steve,
what's up? Appreciate you being here, man. Pardon us while we boomer our way through this crap for a second, because like I said,
yeah, late start.
But where the heck is? Oh, there it is. Okay. Cannot find supported channels. Okay. Yeah, because there's a thing called Restream Chat, and that's what I'm using to do to stream the different chats all together at the same time. But okay. I ran into some technical issues that I had to like completely wipe my system and then reinstall everything, because I was running into huge problems, and I didn't get it set up to work with Hangouts, so that it was like when we do these our weekly stream.
Yeah.
It goes to all those platforms.
Oh, and you were mentioning it before, and Stephen J just mentioned it, the no more Hangouts thing.
Yeah, I think is that starting tomorrow? I know they said it was in August, but I think
so. It'll be Thursday at the earliest, and isn't that the first?
Yeah, because I think starting, it might be. I can't remember if it's starting the 1st or if it's starting at some point in August though. But yeah, it's going away. So I'm looking into alternatives to use. So
we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
And when we get our heads wrapped around that, it'll change again.
Dude, I'm watching all these videos and stuff on how to work with DLive and how to work with Twitch and how to make everything work with all that stuff. And I'm gonna take a look real quick here and see if don't want to do the window within window thing. Kill that. It's actually working though. It's the restream is actually pulling up the yeah, it is the 1st of August. This is what Stevie said.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's actually coming in over DLive.
So next week, big changes.
Nope. Yeah, it's not going over DLive. So I have to set up Restream to work with DLive to work with well, it doesn't matter because Hangouts is going away, so whatever the new software that I'm going to use is, I have to figure out how to make it work with the multi-streaming. There's a couple of them though. I'll figure it out though. But
yeah, Jay says that he hates Google for doing this because Hangouts is so easy to use. So
yeah, there's a lot of rumors about why they're doing it too, and some of them are like, man, if they do that, that is really gonna suck. Because one of the theories is that they're gonna try to take YouTube and turn it into kind of like Netflix,
Yeah.
and make it a monthly. Which if they do that, that'll kill it.
Yeah.
That'll absolutely kill it, because I mean, even Netflix is losing money now, because that model is just, with that model where the price just keeps going up and up and up. People are like, hey, screw you, man. We got time for this crap. But yeah, I'll figure out how to get it to work. Because I did a gaming stream last night to test it out, and it worked. Except for like the Twitch didn't go through, because I didn't realize this, but and this might just be for like people who aren't Twitch partners and who haven't you have to get to
Aren't members. Yeah.
You have to get to a certain point in Twitch. By the way, am I coming in okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
I moved the position of my mic and everything. I'm trying to get everything work better. But maybe it's because I see people streaming in like 4K on Twitch. It's like, and they're like, yeah, well, your bit rate for your stream is too high, and I'm like, what? So I had to go and lower the bit rate, and hopefully when I'm going to do another game stream tonight, or either game stream or well, I'm definitely going to do a game stream, but I might do an art stream too, and hopefully it'll come in right tonight. But okay, so a couple of interesting subjects. Let me go ahead and close.
On to the news.
Yeah, on to the stuff, which I have to. Oh God, that was an accident.
Well, what'd you do?
I closed the wrong window.
Oh, and
it got all weird. Oh geez. Yeah, let me just open the. Oh God.
I'm getting vertigo.
Let me let me white box you here till I can fix this. There. What the heck, man? OBS camera. Cancel OBS. Okay. I did not mean to close Chrome like that. All right. Let's see if this fixed it.
Anything? So what to talk about while you're doing stuff?
Oh, geez. Hang on a minute. Let me fix this.
Okay.
Where you at here?
I'll get some tasty water while you're doing that.
Properties. Google Chrome. Okay. All right. That one went to, wait. Oh, my God. Properties. Hangouts. And window capture. I swear to God, man, if it wasn't one thing, it would be something else.
Well, if we ever have a smooth broadcast, that'll be
there we go.
Sign of the apocalypse, maybe.
Okay, no, we're good now. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Oh my God. All right. And I typed in the wrong thing. All right. Oh, geez, man. I mean, you talk about a pain. And now I got to go through and find all my tabs again. God. Anyway, like I was saying, we had a hell of a week this week, man. I lost my phone for like a day and a half. And
ooh, that's never good. I think you found it.
Oh, yeah, I found it. But like I missed all these people, like, calling me and asking me stuff. I was like, what's going on? And
why aren't you answering my calls? I can't find my phone.
I can't find my phone. But you know, and then like they had this thing where my dad disappeared.
Oh yeah, last week. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so I did want to talk about something real quick here. Let me see if I can find. I'm gonna bring up the. Hey, there was an article. They finally did an article about it, but as anybody who's part of this community knows, that umbrella guy. There's a YouTuber named That Umbrella Guy, and he got doxxed a couple of weeks. About a week ago, he got doxxed. Basically, what doxing means is his personal information got leaked, and not long after that, and basically his personal information got leaked after certain individuals were threatening to do so. They're like, you know, we've got information on this guy. And if you don't, basically, they were trying to hold him hostage. Basically, stop being critical of us. Stop talking. You know, basic. It's the typical outraged mob culture. You know, he has an opinion that they disagree with. They're all, you know, dogpiling on. Tug was basically a real big proponent for this for Vic Mignogna. I think I'm saying his name right. He's a voice actor. He came under a lot of fire. There was a bunch of accusations that were leveled towards him. From my understanding, like the vast majority of those accusations have been proven to be either false or grossly exaggerated. And
well, thanks, Steve. Steve shared it on Twitter. So yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, I'm on there as a Comic Book Bob.
Yep.
Excuse me. I appreciate that, Steve. Yeah, and yeah, like and share it, and that definitely helps grow the channel. I appreciate all the help with that. But long story short, Tug kind of became the point man for the antithesis of what they were going for, which is just automatically believe all these accusations. This guy should destroy this guy's life. And to be honest, I don't really know much about Vic Mignogna. I don't know much about voice actors. I'm not as big into anime as I used to be. That's one of the reasons why I wanted Chris on here, because he knows a lot more about this stuff than I do.
Yeah.
But one thing I am absolutely a proponent of is you can't just take people by their word, because the simple fact of the matter is, and it's unfortunate, but the simple fact of the matter is people lie. People lie. We see all the time. I lie. Normal people lie. And not only that, but there's always, interpretation is always subjective, like you have, like, I don't know how many times I've seen examples or had done it myself, where you're talking to somebody that you shared an experience with, like both of you were there and you both have different takes on what happened. You both basically like, oh, he was wearing a red shirt. No, he wasn't. He was wearing a green shirt. Memory is not a good, memory can be very faulty, especially when time colors it. So you have to look into things. You have to look at facts. You have to look at, and you can't take accusations just at face value, because the simple fact of the matter is you don't know. But there's this growing demand of certain people that when it comes to certain people in certain classes or quote unquote protected classes, you should automatically believe them. And that's not a good idea. We just had a couple of examples in the last couple of months where accusations were made, and it turns out that people were completely lying and deliberately doing so, and it sucks. Believe me, it sucks. I wish we could take people at their word, but too many times that we've seen that people just aren't honest, for various reasons. Either they didn't think it was going to be as big a thing as it was, and it turned into something else. They screwed up. It was deliberate, or they didn't, whatever reason, people lie, or they at very least embellish the truth. So Tug was the point guy for defending this Vic Mignogna guy. And like I said, a lot of these accusations against him from the start, a lot of them, when I went back and I researched this, because like I said, I wasn't really up on this whole thing. It's not really my avenue. A lot of it was just absurd. It's just stupid stuff. But some of it, if it was true, were serious allegations. And from what I understand, a lot of that stuff has been debunked, as either because of they've had a couple of different depositions. Basically, I'm not a lawyer. When I look at those things, man, my brain just starts to check out. It's literally like reading a phone book. But when it's broken down, my understanding is that a lot of this stuff is just purely frivolous. Now, from I understand, I think he did cheat on his wife or something. So it's not like he's completely innocent, but definitely not guilty of the stuff that they're accusing him of. But again, because there are certain people that are, just absolutely addicted to this outrage culture crap, such as, and I hate saying her name, this Renfamous and this guy Tim Doyle, who are the two main culprits in this whole thing. They just, it's any tactic that's useful in either intimidating people to standing down or shutting up, or bullying people into falling into line with what they want. They're willing to do. It's kind of like that whole thing that's going on with like Antifa. They truly think that history will judge them kindly. So any tactic or method that they use today is acceptable. And we see this stuff everywhere. We see it from all walks of life, right, left, center, what have you. And recently, that Umbrella guy got, like I said, they made good on their threat. They leaked his information. So now everybody knows who this guy is. They know where he lives. They know where he works. And they're basically, the storm is basically starting to erupt. People are calling his work. And the thing that's really freaky is people are stalking his family. They're like putting pictures of his wife and his kid up on social media, and it's just
that just isn't right.
Yeah, that crap. And the thing that's really scary about this is what leads to things like swatting. And swatting, if like I said, if you've been part of this indie community that's been going on, that swatting is seriously dangerous stuff. Peter Simeti, the guy who created Alterna Comics, was swatted about a year ago. And literally, the guy's in the middle of a podcast, and the cops come rolling up to his house, guns drawn, ready to go. Because somebody called, pretending to be him, claiming that he just killed his wife and he's about to kill himself. This stuff is dangerous. People can. There was another incident where Edwin Boyette was swatted. Police again came up to. Luckily for him, though, he actually knew the chief of police for that district. So they were a little suspect on it, but just the fact that this happened, that's bad enough. And there have been lots of instances of swatting where people have actually been injured, and at least one incident I know of where someone was killed. This is dangerous stuff. But even worse than, not worse than that, but another dangerous element of this is we just saw, and the name escapes me, but there was a girl who was a streamer. She was a live streamer. She literally got stalked and murdered by somebody that was part of her satellite group. The people that followed her, one of these people that followed her. Guy hunted her down and killed her. When you put this information out there, you can't then just throw your hands up and go, oh, well, I'm not going to do anything. No, you put this information out there. How crazy people get, especially in today's world, when you have organizations like Antifa and I can't remember the name of the it was the Proud Boys and the other ones. Like, you got these people that are on all these extremes, and when you get them all together, people, you know, they lose their minds. And you just look at that video of I think what was his name, Andy No, the guy who was he was a journalist. He was basically doing coverage of an Antifa event. They beat the guy. They almost beat him to death. This guy who's completely unarmed. He's maybe 5'8". You know, he has no physical threat whatsoever. He's just a dude with a camera. And there are people running up behind him, hitting him in the back of the head with friggin' like bars and pipes. They gave the guy a brain aneurysm. Not a brain aneurysm, but he has permanent neurological damage. They're still assessing just how bad it's going to be. They actually think it because he was on a live stream. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast. And he's talking about how they're still trying to figure out exactly how much bad it is, but they said that as he gets older, it's going to get worse. Like he's suffering. He like right now there's like he'll have like memory loss and things like that. Brain injuries are nothing to screw with, man.
Oh no, they're not.
They are dangerous stuff. Like, you know, like my dad, like she's talking to my dad about that. You know, he had that stroke, and it just like there are times when he just gets stuck on words. But this happened. You know, this is just some dude, and these people, and literally Tom Doyle. I'm not going to pull them. I did a video on this whole thing. I'm just wanted to touch on this before we go any further. The fact that they're trying to downplay this and saying like, oh well, we didn't do this or anything. I'm like, no, yeah, you did. You did. When you have the reach that some of these people have, like I'm not going to say her name again because, like I said, I'm not going to give her volume. When you have the reach that these people have, and you know that there are people that are watching you, and you know how crazy people can get, especially in as charged a climate as we live in today. When you put stuff like this out there, and then you make statements like Tim Doyle, and I'm paraphrasing here, that because Tug's not going to back down, he's going to put his family and his job and his livelihood at risk. You say stuff like that, you're putting things in people's heads.
I mean, right there, that's exactly like the whole Pizzagate thing.
Yeah,
you just throw it out there like that, especially something like that, or oh yeah, it'd be a shame if something happened to your family that I just put your address up and pictures of them. If you do that, I mean, that's a threat. That's a direct threat to somebody.
Absolutely, dude. And that's in that video.
And if you can't man up to that afterwards and go, well, yeah, I did that. If you're like, oh, well, hey, I just put the information out there. No, you knew exactly what was going to happen. You knew that it had the potential to be
dangerous.
Possibly life-threatening.
And that's the thing that really ticks me off. These people do this stuff and they're just like, whatever happens. I'm like, no, exactly the potential that can happen. So don't give me that crap. But so we're just going to keep, it's unfortunate because like I said, there's a whole bunch of, and I hate using the word, but it's what everybody's using to describe it. There's a whole lot of drama, a whole lot of issues that erupted that were very, actually, to be completely honest, they were trivial and needed to be quashed. This didn't get the coverage that it deserved, and he felt a little upset, and rightfully so. But we're gonna. Well, the wheels are turning now. Though we're getting behind him. We're not gonna let them do this to this guy. He's a low income family man. He's got, and this is the thing, that the stresses this is going to put on his family. His wife is pregnant. And she's out here freaking out that people are going to stalk them. Someone busted. This is someone basically went and busted down their mailbox, which you could say, okay, well, maybe that was just a coincidence. The timing seems odd, but that nothing like this has ever happened to him. And then suddenly, the couple of days after this gets leaked, this happens. But then one of the people involved changed their screen name to Mailbox Babadook. So it's like, okay, even if you weren't directly involved with this, you're using this now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if you're going to claim it, no.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And you know, like I said, you don't have to like the guy. You don't even have to. You don't have to agree with him. You don't have to like him. But this is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. But okay, let's move on to something else. You know, like I said, hashtag we stand with Tug. So, so leading into that is this news right here. Matt Ligeti of Comic Book Yeti, Ligeti of Yeti. I just realized that. Will not cover alternative comics and comics that directly or indirectly attack minorities. This is more of the same crap. So, like I said, Peter Simeti, who is the founder and president of Alterna Comics, of which I've read quite a few of them, and at no point did any of them do any of this. At no point does Peter Simeti support this. Peter Simeti is a little Asian. Again, he's a little Asian dude. You know, it's like, it's so ridiculous. But let's read this a little bit. So Matt Ligeti of Comic Book Yeti took to Twitter to declare that Comic Book Yeti will not cover alternate comics or any comic that directly or indirectly attacks minorities or marginalized voices. And this is the way he framed it. So, so folks have reached out and asked if I'll cover comics with publishers or creative teams tied to hate groups. So apparently Peter Simeti is part of a hate group now. All of this stems from an incident back about a year and a half ago, because Peter Simeti became the target. We'll just read it here. Simeti, an Asian American, and his company Alterna Comics became the target of a number of individuals after he posted Alterna Comics' social media code of conduct that instructed their freelancers to not use block bots, blind blocking, blockchains, or any other kind of program or practice that is used to block thousands of people, blindly blocking en masse. Basically, his statement was, look, we are a small comic book company. We can't afford for you guys to just arbitrarily blocking all these people. And a lot of them might not even be part of the thing that you're upset about. Blocking, and he literally said, you can block people individually. If somebody's giving you crap, definitely block them. You don't have to sit there and take that abuse. But we don't want you to use blockchains, because blockchains, a lot of people, I don't know if you've ever seen what happens when somebody uses a blockchain. If you're just following somebody, you might not even be part of whatever they think or whatnot. If you're just following somebody because you think they're funny or something like that, you'll be part of that and you'll just be blocked. Now, Alterna's not Marvel. They can't afford to lose customers. And as long as people aren't being negative to you, basically all he's saying is, please don't block customers that we need. That's basically all they were doing. And because of that, he suddenly became an alt-right Nazi. And that word was used to describe him a couple of times. That's where the whole thing, that's where this whole thing of him being part of a hate group comes from. That he just didn't want them to use blockchains. That's it. And again, like I said, this is the overreaching, just outrage mob culture ideology that just wrecks everything that it touches. So then, getting your comics published is hard for those who can't lead the publisher for one reason or another. I don't agree with the politics. I'm sorry. Comic getting will not give a platform to hate. There's no hate. I have read every single. I haven't read every single, but I've read about 2/3 of the series that are published by Alterna Comics. There's nothing. There's barely anything political at all. Peter Simeti, I've watched many of his podcasts and many of his podcasts, his YouTube videos. One of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet in your life. This is ridiculous. This kind of crap is ridiculous. But this kind of crap is what led to him being swatted. like I said, this is, I'm covering this because it leads into what we were talking about before. This kind of mentality, this kind of blanket, just tying people, is calling people Nazis, saying they're part of a hate group. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Saying they're part of a hate group. This leads to the crazies. It's just like the argument about the whole milkshake thing. It's like, well, it's just a milkshake. Well, no, it's not just a milkshake. Because you like, what do you think is going to happen? You think you're going to throw that, and the person you hit it with is just going to go, "Oh man, I'm going home." No, people who do this stuff, they don't understand how violence works. When you do something like that, it causes an escalation. You throw a milkshake at somebody, and then somebody else does it, and then a whole bunch of people do it. And then what happens is the guy turns around and he starts punching you or shooting you. This is how bad things happen. And it's just, I don't understand this. Okay, if you don't want to publish it, just say, yeah, we're not gonna do it because I don't agree, because I just don't particularly agree with said person's practices. There you go, that's fine. Calling him part of a hate group, I did it again. Calling him part of a hate group, calling people racist, alt-right, Nazis, all this stuff. This is how these things escalate. And it's got to stop, man. Like I said, it comes down to this, like what happened. I go back to what happened with Andy No, because I'm watching this, and I did some research into like the situation in Portland. I'm gonna tell you what, man, that situation in that city is insane. The mayor has literally told the cops they're not allowed to do anything about Antifa. They're not allowed to stop them in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like, they're going to keep doing this until somebody dies. We've already had an incident like what was it? That situation that happened in Charlotte, where you had the two groups clashing with each other, and then one dude jumps into his freaking car and runs a bunch of people over. You would have thought that right there would have been like, okay, everybody, I don't care what side of this you're on, you all need to take a step back and think about what you're doing. But no, they're going to keep doing it until somebody who's completely innocent of this is just going to get beaten to death, or somebody's going to get shot, or worse than that. Because this is the thing about I don't know if these people on the left, these people on the ultra extreme left, because I consider myself to be on the left here. People on the ultra extreme left don't seem to realize something. People on the ultra extreme right, they're a lot better at violence than you are. I don't know if you've noticed how many like I've got a whole bunch of cousins, and they got a whole lot of guns. And if this stuff doesn't stop, you're going to see an equal response from the other end of this, and that's
no, you won't.
You don't think
you will
so?
You will see a disproportionate response from the other side.
Yeah,
that's what the problem is.
No, that's what I mean. You'll see an escalation from the other side, and that's going to be friggin' terrifying. Because, man, I'm gonna tell you what, ain't nobody can do crazy violence like a friggin' redneck. Like I said, I got lots of family, and they got lots of guns. And you guys out here with your little friggin' your LARPing gear and your extendable batons, one of these days you guys are going to walk into the wrong crowd and somebody's going to get shot. And I think, and then there was a podcast I was walking there where they were talking about this, and they're trying to explain this. Is like, no, you don't understand. This stuff, you don't understand the nature of violence. It escalates. And it escalates exponentially. It's like that saying from what was it, the Untouchables? You pull a knife, he pulls a gun. You send one of them to the hospital, he sends one of yours to the morgue. This stuff, it's ridiculous. This has to stop. And the fact that this is we're talking about comic books here, people. Freaking comic books. And this stuff, and this is where we're at here. People getting swatted over comic books. This is ridiculous. But yeah, it's just like I said, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling with the words to put to this because it's just so mind-bogglingly stupid. But man, I'll tell you what. I dread the next election because all this can be. You can tie a lot of this all the way back to that, man. The training, the friggin' inmates are running the asylum. But all right, let's go to something more positive, more fun here. I don't like talking about stuff like this. I hate talking about the stuff like this because, like I said, I get lost in how to even address it. But so this was an interesting story to me, and I want to get your take on this, Tom. So Denis Villeneuve is doing a Dune film. He's doing the Dune remake. And he's gender swapping the character of Liet Kynes. Now we've seen some of the stuff that's come out about people that were upset about certain things like race swapping and gender swapping and like the Eternals and the Little Mermaid and all that nuts and whatnot. And I've always said that I think. Like, while I'm absolutely certain that there are some people that are upset that they're race and gender swapping the character purely because of racist issues. There's people like that. I know there are, but I think the vast majority of people are just upset because they're changing the thing that they love. And Dune is a very, very, very beloved book and book series. And I have to wonder if people are going to be upset about this, and if they are, I think it's the vast majority of it's going to be because they're changing the source material.
Well, the character, it's been so long since I've seen Dune. The guy on the left is the guy from the original movie.
Yeah, that's Max von Sydow. He's from the original film.
And he was the guy, I don't want to call him sidekick. He was the guy that was mentoring the young Duke?
No. Kynes is the guy who was
or he was the older Duke.
No.
Father. No.
He was the guy that was put in charge of the transition. Basically, he was the go-between between the Duke and the way things worked before and the Fremen people. He was the guy. Secretly, he was like one of the Fremen leaders, but his position was that he was the guy who was supposed to help Duke Leto Atreides during the transition of power. Okay, that's the guy. He was the guy that remember that.
Oh, he's the one. He's the one in the scene where
he spits on the ground.
The one I'm remembering him though is the one where the one guy goes down and rescues the crew from the.
Yes. Yeah.
And he thinks to himself, "Oh, this guy's different. He rescued the crew, not the equipment."
Right. He said, "I like." Yeah. He said, "I like this Duke."
That guy.
He's also Chani's father. The Fremen woman that Paul Atreides falls in love with.
Okay.
The one who gives him his two kids. He's Chani's father. Now we all know that what's her name? Zendaya is playing Chani in the new movie, which I don't know if I'm on board with that because I don't particularly think she's a great actor. So because of that, I can kind of understand the race swapping because Zendaya is African. I think is she half and half? She's African American. Whatever. But the race swapping part is I know that people are already upset about that whole thing, which I'm like, you know what, dude, they're in the desert. They're going to be dark. I don't care. But the gender swapping part is the thing that I think a lot of people are going to take offense to. And it's not because I don't think it's because of sexism. I think it's because you're changing something that they love. and you're changing it when you don't have to. In their mind, you're changing it because when you don't have to.
Well, I was about to say, I've never read the books, but isn't um, isn't the whole system kind of patriarchal? I mean, there's the priest, or priest or whatever they're called, and there's a lot of women in that, but besides that, all the leaders are men.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserit. The Bene Gesserit are all women.
Are all women, yeah. But pretty much all the other leaders, I don't recall. Like I said, I never read the books, but I don't recall from any of the other stuff or people I've talked with any of the other leaders of houses or any political thing being women.
Not until later, because Paul's sister becomes pretty much the de facto leader. But no, it's a typical monarchy type system. You know, you have an emperor, you have dukes, you have, you know, lords, that kind of thing.
Very feudal system.
Yeah, it's kind of a play on a feudal system. Now the Bene Gesserit are kind of like, in a weird way, in my mind, they were kind of like a nod to the weird sisters from Macbeth, because the whole book Dune has kind of a Shakespearean like feel to it, with different powers at play, and the Bene Gesserit have these almost like magical powers, where they're able to access the entire history of their order, but of humankind, but they can only access the female half of it. So they're trying to create. That's the whole idea behind the Kwisatz Haderach, is they're trying to create the male equivalent of themselves,
so they can get the other half of history.
So they can get the other half of history, and then you have the Spacing Guild, who are the guys who are like the tech guy. They're the ones who use the spice, and the spice alters their perception. They're the ones who have the navigators who can traverse space and time. Then you have the mentats, who are like human computers. So you have these, you know, almost superhuman elements that are kind of like guiding the others. But the thing about Kynes, though, is that he's not really that big of a character. So I don't know how big of a deal this is, but I do understand fandom, and like I said, fans don't like it when you change things that they like, especially if it's for what they perceive as something that doesn't need to happen. You know what I mean? And it's just, this is just to me, this just feels like an odd character to change. You know, it's like,
well, why? That's also another reason that makes it easy to change.
True. That's the other thing I'm wondering is, like, did they change it specifically because of that? Because it is kind of a minor character.
Yeah, it is a minor change. You can switch things up a little bit without rocking the boat too much. It could just be that.
Yeah. And to be fair, I haven't heard a whole lot of people come out and be like, we are friggin' outraged by this. I'm sure there's some. And this is pretty new, because this just came out yesterday. Me personally, like I said, he's a very minor part of the book. I'm not a crazy Dune fan. So I look at this and I go, okay, do whatever you want, man. I mean, I can kind of understand the race. And like I said, I can kind of understand the race thing, because they cast Zendaya before this. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things where you look at it and you go, okay, you know, is this more of the same Hollywood, you know, not caring about the project and caring more about a social message? Or is this just literally them going, you know, this would probably work. This might work. Let's do this.
Well, hopefully that is.
Hopefully that is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, I saw this and my first reaction was, what? Why? But then I was reading it and I was kind of like, okay, well,
okay, well, good work.
Could work, you know. Well, I'm not rooting for you to fail. But it was just one of those things that just kind of came out of left field, you know what I mean? And like I said, we saw this seems to be a thing that's happening a lot lately, and some of it is just blatantly stupid, but some of it is like, all right, you know, I'll go with that. Like one of the things that they were talking about, like not too long ago, was Idris Elba as James Bond. I'm down for that. Idris Elba is awesome. It's, you know, and he's got that swagger that could carry off James Bond.
He has that kind of I hate to put it this way, but he has that kind of international man of mystery sort of vibe to him.
Yeah,
I mean, everything I've seen him in, he's played. I don't necessarily say reserved, but he has that kind of like bearing. Very good word to use. He has this bearing about himself that,
yeah.
I mean, the dude can carry himself.
Yeah,
he's pretty awesome like that. I mean, he's one of those people that I'm pretty sure when he walks into a room, everybody kind of notices. You know, he's one of those sort of people. So, guy's got some charisma going for him.
Yeah. But
so yeah, I think he could pull off Bond.
Oh yeah, but he said he's not going to do it. He's getting up there. I think he's like 45, 46.
Oh God, that's so old.
Well,
God.
You know what though, especially for actors who like more dramatic, who like the more dramatic roles and stuff like that, and aren't really looking to become action stars.
Yeah.
They start hitting that edge and they start looking like, you know, I don't really want to do this anymore.
It's getting harder to wake up in the morning. Really don't want to have the crap beat out of me.
Yeah. But yeah, because I think Matt Damon said that's kind of why he's kind of trying to transition away from that stuff. But no, it was another one of those things where like you see it, and you're like, oh, I know, I'm sure somebody's going to be upset about this. But this might be one of the times that it happens where I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. But okay, so.
Something that happened this week to me personally, but it certainly applies to our general topic. I went and I got Alita Battle Angel on DVD.
Cool.
Watched it. Some of the extras are pretty cool. Like there's one where Zapan gives a tutorial on being a cyborg, which is pretty cool because, you know, pretty much explains, oh, well, you know, you don't got to worry about aging. You don't got to worry about this. You don't got to worry about a heart attack. You don't got to worry about diseases, really, you know, blah, blah, blah. But he goes, yeah, but you could get hacked. You could get, you could get a computer virus. You know, you don't get arthritis, but yeah, your joints still wear out and you can get actually addicted to modification to yourself. And it was pretty cool. And then the guy that played Hugo gives a tutorial on the city, explains the different districts and stuff. And when I bought it, you know, the guy that sold to me, he's like, yeah, he goes, yeah, I haven't seen this yet. I'm like, it's a great movie. And I freaking hate it. He's like, what? I'm like, it is a good movie, but I read the manga and it just doesn't even come close to what was in the manga. And like the one review I saw of it a while ago, or the person reviewing it was like, yeah, I saw the movie and it was great. And I was like, wow, man, Iron City's really cool. I would love to live there. And then they're like, and then I went and read the manga and they're like, hell no, I am not living in the factory. That place is depressing as hell. It's like, yeah, well, like, because even like reading the manga, I mean, going back, you know, even during the daytime, because for one thing, you're underneath another city. So not a whole lot of light gets down there. It's kind of dismal all the time. But yeah, I just love that. He goes, oh yeah, I want to see this. I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie. I freaking hate it. Because it is a good movie. I highly recommend it. And if you haven't seen it yet and you refuse to see it because you read the manga, I still suggest seeing it, but with like a huge grain of salt, because it is not based on the manga. It's based on the anime.
Yeah.
So, eh.
That's what I was talking to somebody else. I think it was in Good Dog Press. It was in his stream, and one guy was talking about how there's there's something coming out. There's an anime. Let's see here.
A live action version of one.
And he's like, as a film fan, I think it looks cool, but as a fan of the anime/manga, I hate it.
Yeah.
Live action.
Although there was another discussion I had this week when I was talking to somebody that they just saw it like last week. They're like, yeah, that was a really cool movie. Yeah, and the whole thing with his daughter, that was really sad. I was like, yeah, you know what? Alita was his cat. It wasn't his daughter. That's where he got the name from. Oh, and her first body was actually built from the destroyed bodies from the prostitutes that were killed.
Well, yeah. Well, also, like, for a while, wasn't she just like a head on a friggin' wheel?
Yeah. Well, she had, because one of the first prostitutes that was killed was the one with the really pretty arms.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, she had like a little tripod wheeled thing for her lower half that she was on for a while till we got the parts to fix her.
Yeah, like she was just like a head on a wheel thing. Okay. I can't remember what he was talking about, but yeah, this is like when you were talking about how I like the movie and I hate it.
Yeah.
He was pretty much saying the same thing. He's like, I like the movie and I hated it. And he's like, I like it looks cool, but I hate the fact that they're doing it.
Yeah. I really want to see this movie and I want them to do it right. They're not gonna.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people are worried about with like the Akira movie.
Yeah.
There is because it got put on the back burner. And
it's dead.
Well, no, it got put on the back burner because Taika Waititi is doing Thor 4. And he's the slated director for it.
Like I said, if they do it right, I would love to see an Akira movie. Actually, to do it right, it has to be a series of Akira movies, at least 2, probably 3, because those were some big ass books.
Oh yeah, dude. And here's the thing, man. That guy, the artist, Scott Schummer's in the chat. He says,
"Oh hey,"
threw up the Star Trek sign. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. We've been rambling pretty bad. This is going to be one for the books, man, because we're just.
But Rob's only got 2 tabs open right now, so.
Oh god! And I just did it again where I hit the wrong thing, and I killed it, and it was oh god! I'm boomering it up so bad today.
So yeah, Otomo, the guy that did Akira.
Yeah,
fantastic artist. Oh my god,
dude. I was actually on one of Mike S. Miller's streams, and he was talking about how one of the reasons why, because Mike S. Miller as an artist, he doesn't do. There's a thing in comics called spotting blacks, which is where when you have an area that's in shadow, you kind of outline the whole area that's in shadow, and then you just fill the whole
black.
thing in. Yeah. Otomo doesn't do that. He sits there and he just makes little lines until he gets a complete black, and then he expands out. And there's a let me see if I can find it. There's one of the really most famous scenes in the book, where it's when that big giant black sphere appears in the middle of Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, right here. Okay, this right here. Let me see if I can find a really big one. Version of. Okay. Open image. Let's see. Well, open image in new tab. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. If you, this is a bad picture of it. This is a bad scan of it though. If you were to zoom in on this,
yeah, those are all lines.
Those are all little tiny hash lines, creating that gradient going down. And he does that for everything. And if you look at Mike Miller's work, he does the same. He obviously, you know, nobody's going to be on the level that this dude is. Okay. This guy is a freaking legend. All right. This guy has influenced so many different artists. Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane.
And even you said this is a bad scan. I know, but just looking at this,
it looks awesome.
I mean, just the shading on it. I mean, on the dome and on the whole, all the buildings in the foreground and the background. I mean, it's damn.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do you know how long it would take me to do a city like that? I can't tell you the number of weeks, and if I worked on it 8-10 hours a day, I might be able to do something, a cityscape this big and dense, in like a month.
And that was just one page.
And this dude, yeah, and this is just, I think it was a 2-page script.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, oh my God. But yeah, like you were saying, like these books, they're so big and they're so dense.
There was 6 volumes, and
you can't do
so many characters, and
you can't do this in one movie. You just can't.
Well, you can. It'll be sadly underwhelming.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I could, man, I don't even remember what we were talking about now. I was talking about this art.
Oh yeah. Movies, manga into movies, or just books
like
into movies.
The adaptation.
Adaptations. That's it.
The thing I was going to say is nothing they do in the movie will make you feel like this panel does.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very hard for them to recreate the feeling of this. But yeah, just like God dang, man, I could look at this guy's art all day. And
I mean,
I have so much of the stuff archived.
Even in the anime, the opening scene where they have basically the same explosion thing, and it's all silent.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a great effect. I mean,
yeah, I actually,
wow.
that's actually one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie because
the opening,
because there is no sound.
Yeah.
And but even more than, oh my God, the other thing too, how are they going to replicate that soundtrack?
Yeah, the soundtrack was freaking awesome on that.
Dude, that where it was just like the symbol with like, and then the voices. Ah! It was like, wow, man. I'm not doing it justice, obviously, but it's just, it's so iconic, man. It's so hard for them to replicate stuff like that.
It's at the soundtrack. I mean, the soundtrack was like everything in it. It was minimalist when it needed to be, and then just pounding when it needed to be, and
it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was exactly. It was perfect. It was about as close to perfect as you can get. But yeah, so I can understand what you were saying about Alita. One thing I am interested in though is from what I understand, the sales on the Blu-ray, the sales have been really, really good.
Oh yeah, I bought it. So
there was a video one guy did. It's actually kind of funny. He because Alita and Captain Marvel came out almost at the same time, and he's and let me preface this by saying I think there are other elements involved in this. I think maybe they got a whole bunch more copies of Captain Marvel than they did of Alita, but because it's a freaking Marvel movie, man.
Yeah,
you know they're gonna have buttloads of those things. But he showed the stand, and like the stand was full of Captain Marvel DVDs, and there was one Alita DVD left. So, and honestly, I think the buzz on that movie has gotten out, and I think a lot of people that maybe were kind of about seeing it at the theater picked it up to check it out, and that's why it's selling so well. So they're saying that the sales on it have been so good that they're already talking about doing a sequel.
Well, it's too bad they screwed that up.
I knew you were going to say that.
God damn it.
Well, here's the thing. No. Here's the thing.
They still can retcon it and go back and redo it.
Still do it because they jumped ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they can't go back and do the whole.
Doesn't mean that they can't.
Thing.
Like they could start the next movie off where she's there, and then she goes, and then she talks, and then she says something like, and this is how I got here.
Back in the day when I started playing rollerball.
We only had one skate. But no, I get what you're saying. But
and that's another thing I just realized was that in the movie, because I saw it in the theaters twice, and like I said, I just watched it again, and I didn't realize this until just now. They explain rollerball in pretty good detail, which they didn't have to do. Mm-hmm. They went over the rules, how you score. Nobody scores in the movie.
Oh, in the actual professional.
In the actual movie when they're actually playing rollerball, nobody actually scores, but they explain how scoring works and all that, and then none of it happened. I was like, yeah, they went out of their way to explain this game and then not show it.
Well, I think it's very possible. I'm not exact 100% on this. You've got the Blu-ray, so you could find out. They may have shot more stuff with the rollerball, and so I mean, we know that they make changes mid shooting. We know that they do reshoots. I think if we get a sequel, we're going to see some rollerball. Well, we kind of have to, because that's how she, that's kind of how she makes herself. And there's so much storyline there.
Well, that's just it. I mean, they've already screwed up a lot of the other plot that I won't get into because.
You sound like you don't like the movie, Tom.
I said the movie's a great movie. I hate it. Yeah, they already screwed up. Oh, which, by the way, in case I do give away any spoilers, everybody needs to go over to Overly Sarcastic Productions and watch Under Trope Talk. They just did a new one, and God, what's it called? It's not spoilers. It's God. Damn it, I can't remember. But yeah, it's basically the difference between because she gives a bunch of spoilers. Mm-hmm. I mean, she runs down, she's like, okay, she goes, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but just from being on the internet, I can tell you what they did wrong. And she nailed it. Mm-hmm. It's one thing if you change something to further the plot. It's another thing if you change something just to go, you didn't see that.
Yeah, and
so it's subversion versus
subversion of expectation.
Yeah, well, subversion of expectations versus, God damn, that's going to bug me.
Enhancing the story or the scene.
Just a second. Let me go. I'm going to look for. I gotta find this. It's going to bug me now.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I've been sitting on this screen for like the last 10 minutes, so we're going to finally talk about it. So, of the DC streaming service shows, my favorite one was Doom Patrol. I was really upset that Doom Patrol got basically canceled. They didn't really come out.
That's it. Plot twist versus. Okay, I'm good now. I got it. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Yes, Doom Patrol. Go on.
Anyway, like I said, it was my favorite one of the three DC Online service series that came out, and I was really upset that I wasn't upset. I was really unhappy that it basically got canceled because the DC streaming service is in serious trouble. But one of the announcements that came out recently is that they are going to do a season 2, and which is really cool. And apparently, it's going to be on. It's going to still be on the DC streaming service, the DC Universe service, but it's also going to stream simultaneously on HBO. And I think the reason why they're doing that is I think maybe they're trying to figure out a way to keep these shows going if the streaming service does end up going under. If it does end up
getting an audience on another platform so that you got something to fall back on.
Yeah. Well, and I think what it is they're going to start pushing it under the Warner umbrella rather than the DC umbrella. And I think it talks about it in this scenario. It's like, season 2 of Doom Patrol can be declared official. The announcement came down at San Diego Comic-Con and was made by star Diane Guerrero, who plays Crazy Jane. She, you know what? For all the different parts that she plays, she actually does a pretty good job with most of them. I mean, she's playing so many different characters. It's like, yeah, your range is going to be severely tested. But a lot of the characters that she plays are pretty friggin' awesome, and I think she does a pretty good job of playing Crazy Jane. And executive producer Jeremy Carver at the DC Universe panel. The next season will come with a bonus in addition to DC Universe, where the show premiered and currently airs. Doom Patrol is going to stream simultaneously on Warner Media's news service, HBO Max. New episodes shall premiere on both platforms when the latter goes online beginning next year. So, like I said, I think what they're gonna probably end up doing is they're gonna keep the DC Universe online thing around for a little bit longer, but eventually it's just gonna get folded into the new Warner online service that they're gonna do. Because it's not doing well. But the reruns of season 1 would be streamable on HBO Max as well, which was something viewers of the service trailer anticipated when it dropped. Clips and the logo of Doom Patrol were featured amidst the teasers for other shows. Make up the library, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, I'm actually happy about this. I really am, because I liked Doom Patrol. Brendan Fraser was awesome as Robot Man. Did you watch any of Doom Patrol?
I did not get to see any of it.
Dude, it's okay.
I did not know Brendan Fraser though I did not know that he was in it, but
oh yeah, dude. Brendan Fraser's in it. Matt Bomer, the guy who played did you ever watch was it not Burn Notice, but White Collar?
No.
He was pretty good. He played a pretty good character in that. He plays Negative Man. And Timothy Dalton is awesome. But Alan Tudyk, the guy who played Wash on Firefly and Serenity, and he also played. Did you ever watch that Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
No.
You've never seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
I have not.
Dude, we have got to watch. You gotta watch that. Yeah, that's another one you gotta watch, man. It's a horror parody. It's so freaking funny.
What was it again? I'm writing this down.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And it's basically two hillbilly rednecks. Like, you know, it's making fun of those backwoods horror films like
Wrong Turn or whatever.
Like Wrong Turn and The Hills Have Eyes. It's making fun of those movies. And it turns out that the two hillbilly guys were just actually really nice guys. And it's all basically a misunderstanding. It's so funny. But Alan Tudyk plays I can't remember if he plays Tucker. He plays one of the two characters. And but he also played the robot in he's got to do all the motion capture for Sonny the Robot in iRobot.
Yeah.
And but he plays the villain in this movie, in this series. And he breaks the fourth wall sometimes. There's the ones he's like I haven't been in the last 3 episodes. It's really cool. But what all the DC shows, one of the things I said that was really it was like they went to all the producers of the show and said, okay, you have quality, you have story, and you have budget. You can have 2 of them. So pick it. And basically they went, okay, we'll take story, quality, and I forgot all the 3 I just said. My brain doesn't work. Basically they said screw budget. Okay, because all the costumes look like cosplay.
Yeah.
Okay, but they basically you can have good writing, good acting, good story, good production, good stories, good acting, crappy budget. And that's what they went with, because like Cyborg literally looks like a suit that somebody made. But the thing is he acts like Cyborg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Robot Man looks like a cosplay version of Robot Man, but he acts like Robot Man, and he's freaking awesome. He's funny as hell.
I know people that like will not watch, especially the older Doctor Who's. They don't like watching the new ones, but they hate the old ones because they're like, that's just a cardboard box with aluminum foil on it and some lights.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, but the writing and the acting is spot on. And they're like, I just can't watch it. It's like,
yeah, that's exactly.
I can't talk to you anymore.
This is exactly what they did with Doom Patrol. They're like, the writing and the acting is great. The budget sucks.
Yeah, because my own brain can picture what I need to picture just because it isn't on the screen. And granted, I know that is part of being entertained is just sitting there and watching. But if you're really getting lost in it, your brain can gloss over a lot of the visuals as long as it's being fed properly the other stuff. Yeah,
it's like actually something I was talking about the other day. I said that I'll play a bad video game if the story's awesome.
Yeah,
you know, like I'll play a bad video game if like the characters are freaking sweet and the story is just really, really good. Doom Patrol is basically that. The story's really good. It's quirky. It's fun. And the characters are awesome. The writing is good. The budget sucks, Whereas Titans was the exact opposite. The budget was great. The acting was meh. And the story sucks. And that's the reason why most of the people hate it. But and of all the shows that got picked up, that was the one that got picked up, and everyone's going, wait, so Swamp Thing got canceled. Swamp Thing was basically the same thing as Doom Patrol. The story was great, the story was good, the acting was good, the characters were interesting. The budget was kind of I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
And here's something about Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing, even the comic, at least when I was reading it, was pretty much literally dark, just the way DC's been doing everything. I mean, you could just have a black screen for the whole time.
Well, it's a horror story.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of fog, a lot of stuff, in the swamp at night. That's where most of it was happening. Swamp Thing is just this big, dark green and black thing in the swamp, and
we're trees. It's like that. You ever watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
I've seen some of it.
You see the one with the trees, that the Ents that were judging the one guy, and they're trying to read the charges, and the guy goes, "We don't know how to read. We're trees." There's another tangent there. But no, I saw this. I was like, finally, thank God they're gonna do another Doom Patrol, because it was so good. I really enjoyed this series. I can't stand Titans. Swamp Thing, for what I saw, I didn't finish Swamp Thing because I thought, what's the point? It's gonna get it just got canceled. But yeah, so this was some good news. I was happy about this. That's pretty awesome. One thing that we didn't get to talk about last week was some of the trailers that came out at Comic-Con.
Ooh.
And one of them was Zombieland 2.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that the other day. Oh, by the way, I went to go see was it Toy Story 4? I didn't see 2 or 3, but I went with my 2 of my sisters and a grandnephew and a grandniece, and it was pretty good. It's Toy Story, it's Pixar, but yeah, I think there was a preview for this during it, and I was like, that's odd. But there was also that the movie I was telling you about the last week with Hitler.
Yeah,
Jojo Rabbit. That's what it's called.
I looked up the trailer. I was like, "What is this?" That's. Oh my god, dude! I'm like, what?
Yeah, kind of weird.
I'm like, this. What am I watching here? And again, this is a Taika Waititi movie with Scarlett Johansson in it. I got some serious Springtime for Hitler vibes from this movie.
Oh yeah, just the thing that's right there where they show him in the woods talking to the kid. He's like, "Oh, this Hitler guy, he's going to get everybody killed." Oh, what's it? It's like, wow.
And I'm like,
that was okay.
I'm very intrigued by this. I want to see how they got this. Oh, that's what it is. It's an art film. That's how they snuck this pie. Right there. This is they put it on the art film circuit. That's how they snuck this movie. Because I'm thinking to myself, how did he get a Hollywood studio to do this movie? I'm like, it literally has Nazis in it. I'm like, oh my god. But I'm just like, you just tell from the color palette that it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really pastel. It's so bizarre. I'm going to have to see it. It's so weird.
It's got Sam Rockwell in it too. It looks so ridiculous.
Yeah, where the kid stabs himself. That was so funny. But
comes a satire, and I'm like, and this is the thing, satire. There are so many movies that you could file under satire that get completely crapped on and destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't let them be created. Dude, they literally look at this. Oh my god.
Yeah, little kids throwing grenades.
If you tried to make this movie at a major Hollywood studio, the outrage mob would slit your throat. They would literally destroy you. Dude, look at him with his hand on his hip. Oh my god.
Oh, and just the dialogue in that scene where he's talking to little kids, just so funny.
No, look at this right here. Look at this. 31,000 likes, 1,000 dislikes. Are you kidding me? The overwhelming, and this is if this isn't a cross-section idea of the way culture truly is, I don't know what is, man. 31,000 people thought this was awesome, and 1,000 people said that they didn't like it.
I can't see there on your screen how many people have watched it, because that's just people that bothered to react to it.
Almost 1.1 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So out of 1.1 million, let's take 31,000 likes and 31,000 dislikes.
It's less than 4%.
Yeah, less than 4% of the people don't
bothered to react to it. And I'm sure people have watched this more than once going, what?
Not only that, though, but if you look at the ratio, okay, it's literally 30-1.
Mm-hmm.
So 97% of people, like 90% of people think this is an awesome idea. 10% of people hate it, and they'll go with what the 10% people say. The vast majority of the time. How stupid is that? It's ridiculous. This movie if some people had their way, this movie would never be made. This movie would never see the light of day. I need to see this movie. I'm serious, dude. The part right there that I just put on when the dude stabs him in the leg, the knife comes off his, that's so freaking awesome, man.
Well, that was just it. The preview I saw for this was during Toy Story 4, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? And it's man,
it's just this kid just like chucking his knife, like, ugh.
And just the later scene with the kids running around throwing grenades was my god.
Look at this. Doink, doink.
Doink.
The kid's like, oh.
That looks like me when I dropped the X-Acto knife on my leg last year.
Sam Rockwell, dude, you sold me at Sam Rockwell. I love this guy, man. I love this dude. Yeah, I could do without her. I'm not a big fan of Rebel Wilson. But Sam Rockwell, I'm down, man. Oh my god, this is so absurd. This is 10 levels of awesome. Just that scene right there with the paunchy Hitler running through the smoke, like a girl. This is awesome. Oh my god, we need movies like this, man. We need movies like this so bad. Oh god.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit. Yeah, we're gonna have to go, Rob. This is gonna have to be a first reaction thing too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll probably be either stunned or just laughing for 10 minutes.
Did you watch the Top Gun Maverick?
I saw it. I could care less.
See, I'm actually intrigued by this. I'm actually kind of liking this because it seems like they're trying to at least be honorific to the original movie.
Except that he's 50 and still a pilot.
Well, they address that. They say that he's kind of a screw up. So I'm intrigued by this though, man. This is now. Let me make this very clear. This is not going to be a deep movie.
No.
Okay, but this really does strike me as being one of those movies that could be like a really cool action, like throwback to the '80s film. I'm really digging this. Also, it looks like they're setting him up to kind of be in the Tom Skerritt role this time around, where he's the trainer instead of well, obviously he's not the trainee because he's already passed Top Gun school. So that's kind of interesting to see what they do with this. Tom Cruise has never disappointed me, man. I've never seen a movie that he's been in that I didn't like. And
I was about to say, for me, that would be all of Mission Impossible movies.
You know what though? Even if they're not, like I said, me and you have said, and we've torn those movies apart. There are problems with those movies, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
But I can see how they're also fun though. Like the first Mission Impossible movie the first Mission Impossible, I actually had fun with that movie. It
was good for a while. About 2/3 of the way through, though, it really kind of started falling apart for me. I was just,
Well, it's absurd.
Yes, that is a good way to, but not in a cool way. Because, I mean, quite frankly, the whole the Fast and Furious movies, those are absurd.
Yeah,
they're in a fun, cool way. I mean, the Mission Impossible, it just didn't work for me. I mean, I know other people like them, but yeah, for me, that was just not.
The last Mission Impossible was better than and like I said, after that they kind of started going downhill. But the last Mission Impossible was actually there were some pretty cool scenes in the last Mission Impossible. Although I did watch a there's a YouTube thing, I can't remember, it was basically these two guys sit down with a professional stuntman and they break down scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's breaking down like how they shot that scene in the bathroom in the new movie, the last Mission Impossible movie. And he's talking about
scene.
Yeah, and literally there's like if you stop it, you can see where like some of the stuff that looks like it's made out of concrete is literally foam.
Yeah. And
like he hits it and it bends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I was like, this is so cool, man, how they do that. But and then he also broke down the scene from The Last Jedi, the big big lightsaber fight scene. He's like, this is so bad.
Yeah.
He's breaking it down. He's like, literally, these dudes are having to wait because the timing from Daisy Ridley and what's his name is so bad. It's so off that they're literally having to hold their action and telegraph what they're doing. And he's like, he's like, whoever he said, and this is something that I actually said before I saw this. He said, whoever choreographed this scene, like basically the director told them that this is how he wanted the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a director who doesn't really understand how to direct action. You know, he's like, because this scene, it's flat. That was one thing he said. He's like, the camera angles are very flat. There's just no excitement in this scene. It's just blah. And
it's one of those scenes that I'm pretty sure, the director was just like, yeah, there's lightsabers in it. People like it.
Yeah. And but yeah, listening to this guy who's a pro tear this thing apart, I'm like, I feel vindicated. But yes, I liked Magritte. I thought it was interesting. Man, I'm not even going to get on the Joker again. We've already discussed that so much. It's ridiculous. The
cure for the Joker. Don't call it the Joker. There you go, done.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, did you watch the new the new It trailer?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, there's some really cool scenes in this.
I saw a teaser, but I didn't see the trailer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, there's some really cool scenes in this. Oh, friggin' Irish Spring commercial. Get out of here.
Hey, Shishai.
I've got to wonder if Irish people are ticked at this. Okay.
At what?
So, at the whole Irish Spring thing.
Hmm. But anyways, it.
Yeah. So so there's some cool scenes with it. That's cool. But there's a scene in the when they come back with when they're in I don't remember this from the book. I honestly don't remember this from the book. He's in a fun house. And there's a kid who's trapped. And it's like he's going to make him watch him kill this kid or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this from the book. If this actually existed in the book, that's freaky as hell. So I'm really excited for this, man. I'm down for this, man.
Yeah, the thing I saw for it is the one teaser with the scene with the old lady.
Yeah, that was the first one that they released.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm really excited. There's a couple of movies I'm really excited for, man. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's well, you got that and Jojo Rabbit to look forward to now. So
yeah. Now, have you ever played any of the Witcher games?
I haven't. My son loves them.
I was really worried about the Witcher series, the Henry Cavill Netflix series.
Mm-hmm.
This actually looks pretty good, but because they released some test footage scenes and it was like, oh god, this is gonna be awful. But yeah, go away. This actually looks like it might not suck, man. I'm getting some kind of a little bit of a Game of Thrones vibe from this, which could be good, could be bad. But
beginning or end?
yeah, it's there's some interesting stuff going on in this. So the only question I have is it going to end up being cheesy? If it's like the games, man, this could be really cool. From what I understand, they said that they're actually basing it more on the books than the games. And the games, from what I understand, there is some difference. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, he looks like the dude from the video game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're kind of splitting the difference here, which is pretty cool because, like I said, the action in the video game is awesome. This could be interesting. This could be the Game of Thrones replacement that they've been looking for. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, those first couple of test footage screens that they released, God, it looked bad. It looked so bad, man. It looked like he was wearing a bad wig. But then again, I'm like, okay, well, it is test screening, so
yeah.
But I was this is one of those things I was like, you're pleasantly surprised. I'm like, okay, this looks like it might be kind of cool. And the monster that comes up at the end of this, I'm like, if they have stuff like that, this could be pretty cool. But you see am I wrong in thinking this has a little bit of a Game of Thrones vibe to it?
Oh, that's a big spider.
Yeah, there's the world that The Witcher exists in is full of weird stuff.
Yeah.
So that just seems like it could be pretty cool to me. But yeah, so there were some cool trailers that got released. God, this movie looks awful. This woo assassins thing. Now there was one. There was one, and I was trying to talk to some people about this. This movie, it reminded me of like it was like Korean MMA fighters and priests fighting demons. It was like the Korean Constantine.
That could be cool.
Right? Is it Righteous Fury? What was it? God, what is it? Divine Fury. There it is. So
yeah, let's see this trailer.
So the whole thing is this guy. He's an MMA fighter, and he has he blames God for like his dad's death. So anytime he sees like a holy symbol like a cross, he just loses his mind. It turns out there's like a demon that's attached itself to him, and he gets kind of like exercised, I guess, or he learns how to either like resist it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this priest shows up and starts like basically he gets recruited into this war against demons and stuff. So yeah, I'm just like I'm watching this going, this really feels like the Korean Constantine to me.
Oh, cool. Divine Fury.
Divine Fury. Yeah. See it like they're doing like an exorcism thing there. And then like he's the dude who like starts beating the crap out of people. And he's got like stigmata in his hand. It's like it's weird.
Cool. That looks good.
Some of the demon stuff looks pretty cool. And he's talking about like how there's like this there's like a they kind of like do an allusion to the dark church and like the dark side of the Catholic Church. Like they call a guy the Black Bishop, and you know, like I said, like because like the dark church has what is it the Black Pope is what he's called or something like that. It just looks like that crazy cheesy kind of stuff that could be cool.
Yeah, that looks good.
But yeah, dude, I saw that and I was like, that actually looks kind of cool, man. But yeah, all right. So I think that's about it for me today, man. Let me double check here. Talked about Tug. Talked about Dune. Wait.
What else you got?
You'll like this. Hang on a minute. Let's see. There was an announcement. Warner Brothers is making Superman Red Son.
Holy crap. Oh, they better fucking do right. They better do it right. Because Superman Red Son was awesome.
Yeah. I as soon as I saw this, I was like, dude, Tom's going to lose his crap. Nate's going to lose his crap.
Oh, yeah. This
Dude,
is
because they just did. Is it out yet? I think they just did Batman Hush.
Batman Hush. Don't
Yeah.
know that one.
Was it released? Yeah, it was released July 20th. So Batman Hush. It's a newer Batman story, but they're starting to get into some of the really like hardcore storylines that they used to do.
Okay.
So then I saw this, I was like, wow, that could be really cool, man.
Is it going to be live action or animated?
It's animated.
Animated? Okay. That
Yeah.
makes me feel a little better. They do much better with their animation than they do with their live action movies.
Yeah. But it's slated for a 2020 release.
Oh wow, cool.
I
definitely got to keep up on this.
Yeah, it's like they literally just announced it like yesterday.
It was just such a good storyline. I mean, it's the whole what if.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome. And and just all the little nods in it, because it's basically, it has Batman versus Superman in it. And
yeah, because they have the big fight in Siberia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where, because they actually did
because in that one, Wonder Woman actually goes to help Superman and gets messed up.
Yeah.
For helping him out.
Yeah, it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like, what if Superman, and even but he's still the same Superman. He's the guy who
he's the Boy Scout still. He's
still the Boy Scout, but he's the Marxist Boy Scout.
Yeah. And they kind of gloss over it, the whole Stalinism thing. It's kind of there, but it's also kind of not there, because there's really only the one guy from the party that he deals with directly.
Yeah.
And then Superman also does the thing there for a while where he's like, yeah, this is a corrupt system. So yeah, I'm just going to start lobotomizing people. Zap, 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 zap. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's not really fixing things, is it? So
and actually he at one point in the book, doesn't he say that he's not Stalin? Like, he doesn't agree with Stalin.
Oh yeah, he's like
I'm not gonna build because he's the leader of the communist. He becomes the leader of the Communist Party at one point, doesn't he? If I'm remembering correctly.
Superman.
Yeah.
No.
He's one of them though, isn't he?
No, he's not really the leader. He's kind of, I don't want to say he's outside the system, because it's one of those things. He's, he was raised under it, so he's the whole, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
The system, because this is the system. He's lawful good. This is a system he was raised in, so this is the system he supports, and that's why he does at one point decide, I got to fix this. And he starts lobotomizing people with his heat vision.
Yeah, that's actually where they got the idea for him doing that in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon series.
Yeah, because then he's like, this doesn't fix anything.
Yeah,
and
it was just such a good story though. I need to go back and reread it, man. It's been so long.
That was good. It was really good, and the way, I guess you could say, the way that Lex Luthor finally stops him is just so perfect. And then the ending of the story just worked out so well. You're like, wow, yeah, okay, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but
I'm not giving nothing away on that.
But to end on that, I saw that and I was like, that's really cool. Tom's gonna love that.
Oh yeah, that's
okay. Well, we do have to end it though, man. It's like 20 till, so
yeah, you gotta go to your game.
Yeah, well, that's our, like I said, I apologize for the show being so slapdash day, guys. I had a ton of technical problems. I didn't really have time to prepare a lot of this stuff. I apologize for the just rambling that we did. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really am gonna try to like laser focus this stuff going forward. But that's our show for today. I want to thank everybody who showed up. Appreciate it. As always, you can find us right here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like what you saw today, please hit like, subscribe, share the channel, share it out. It helps the channel grow. And more importantly than anything, leave a comment below, guys, because it helps us figure out what we need to do, what we need to change, and how to make this better for you guys.
Yeah, because you don't tell us anything, we're just going to keep doing this. And
yeah.
So,
we're fumbling around in the dark a little bit. But until next week, Comic Book Bob.
I'm Tom.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Yep.